a look at harness racing at Moonee Valley last night. And in the first event, the first division of the qualifying stakes, the favourite was Smiley Lad at 7-4, and your commentator is Brian Markovic.
In behind them, Haversack, Son of Hussey dropping right out. In behind them, Bevel Devil, Penny Linden, and 6 metres away, Craig and Dale dropping right out. On the turn, though, at the 300. In the centre, Smiley Lad draws a neck in front of Ocean Terminal. Moonee 3 wide, making ground. Goulburn Action about to get clear, followed by Haversack and 05. Smiley Lad, though, race to the lead with 120 metres to go. He looks the goods tonight. 3 metres to Moonee. Goulburn Action late with 05 down the outside and Haversack, but Smiley Lad wins easily. Smiley Lad gets home by 4 metres to Goulburn Action. Third home in the event, maybe Moonee and nose to 05.
First favourite home at Moonee Valley, Smiley Lad at 7-4. Goulburn Action second at 6-1, and third was Moonee at 7-1. The Crown Law Stakes was the second, and Armchair Ride unbackable here, 4-1 on.
Set. Racing, Armchair Ride out wide began quickly from 2. Sir Whisper came out galloping. He drops out to the tail. Armchair Ride being hard driven. Looks like crossing Marin King, Michael Manley, Keeler Road and Raja's Rebel coming off the back. And the favourite now clears the field, Armchair Ride. In behind them, Festival Summer, followed by Son of Vic and Adios Moth and Genesee. And 6 metres away, Sir Whisper last, and about 50 metres off the leader, which is Armchair Ride. He straightens up around the turn the first time by 4 metres to Marin King on his back, and up on the outside Michael Manley. He slackens off in front on Armchair Ride. Raja's Rebel with the 1 out sit early, followed by Keeler Road. He's 3 back on the fence, and now Son of Vic is taking off 3 wide. Adios Moth is going on his back in turn. In behind them, Festival Summer coming 1 off the fence, followed by Genesee 6 metres away and 5 metres away Sir Whisper. Out of the straight the first time, Son of Vic now works up to be second, and Adios Moth is going forward 3 wide. At the 1650, he now works up to be second within a metre of Armchair Ride. Travelling third on the leader's back as Marin King, followed by Michael Manley on the outside of Keeler Road. In behind them, Raja's Rebel, followed by Festival Summer, who's pulling for the moment third last, second last Genesee, and 5 metres away Sir Whisper. At the 1350, it's Armchair Ride by 2 metres to Adios Moth. 3 metres away, third Marin King. A metre the outside of Son of Vic, who's fourth in the 1 out sit. Michael Manley on his back, followed by Keeler Road, who's 3 back on the fence. In behind them, racing an Indian file, Raja's Rebel, Festival Summer, Genesee, and 6 metres away, Sir Whisper. That's the order approaching the turn for the bell. 1,000 metres to go. Armchair Ride now quickens up. He's a sulky's length in front of Adios Moth, who's sitting up second without cover. Third placing on the leader's back is Marin King. Fourth on the outside, Son of Vic. Moving up on the fence is Keeler Road, followed by Michael Manley. From third last now, Festival Summer going forward. Genesee is trailing him. Then Raja's Rebel fourth last, and working up on the fence, Whisper. Out of the straight the final time. At the 750, it's Armchair Ride. He's going comfortably by 2 metres to Adios Moth, who's worked very hard. Marin King travelling nicely third, followed by Son of Vic, fourth on the outside and not going well. Wide around Festival Summer making ground. Michael Manley, Keeler Road, Genesee, Raja's Rebel, Sir Whisper. At the 500, Armchair Ride hasn't been called upon. He's 2 metres in front of Adios Moth on the outside, sticking on, followed by Marin King held up. Then Son of Vic, followed by Festival Summer wider out, running home only fairly. In behind them, Michael Manley, followed by Genesee, Keeler Road, Raja's Rebel and Sir Whisper. Around the turn at the 300, Armchair Ride 2 metres in front of Adios Moth, who's sticking on. Son of Vic under pressure. Festival Summer, Genesee wider out, and Marin King can't get a run. Armchair Ride called upon. He's a metre in front. Adios Moth can't pick him up, and here's Genesee on the outside. He's starting to fly. He'll beat them all, Genesee. He's coming home all over the top of them. He grabbed the lead near the line, and Genesee's won by a neck. 2 Festival Summer, maybe Armchair Ride third, just in front of Marin King. Raja's Rebel close up with Adios Moth. Then Keeler Road, Michael Manley, Son of Vic, and last was Sir Whisper.
Well, that was an absolute wipeout for the punters. Genesee at 12-1, Festival Summer 25s. Raja's Rebel got third at 100-1, and the favourite disappointing Armchair Ride after leading at 4-1 on. The Tamboretha handicapped the third for the Trotters, and the favourite here, Clayton, run at 9-4.
All set for a start. They're set in the back straight and they're racing. Amorous Hill and Countess Ida both began in unison off the front. Deluxe Lad began fairly well. Andy Brighton began okay. Leach's Creek works up on the inside to be third. In behind them, Clayton Run as Deluxe Lad goes for a gallop early, and Belholm and Court second last. Amherst Hill in front early, coming off the back by 6 metres to Countess Ida, who drops on the rail for the sit. 6 metres away, third in the race is Leach's Creek. In behind them, Clayton Run, followed by Andy Brighton. 5 metres away, Belholm and Court. And after breaking shortly after the start, 35 metres away, Deluxe Lad still half out of its gear, and now making a real good thing of it, hopping out of its gear once again and tailed off. Down the straight the first time, Amherst Hill in control, in his favourite role by 5 metres to Countess Ida. Andy Brighton works up to be third without cover. On his back in turn as Clayton Run with a perfect sit, followed by Leach's Creek, who's racing fifth turning out of the straight. In behind them, Belholm and Court, and 45 metres away, Deluxe Lad. Out of the straight the first time, towards the 1650, Amherst Hill is clear by 4 metres to Countess Ida, and a neck on the outside is Andy Brighton. He now works up on the outside to be second. In behind them, Clayton Run having a nice sit tonight, followed by Leach's Creek. 2 metres to Belholm and Court, and 35 metres away, Deluxe Lad. Halfway down the back straight once again, no change in the order, and it's an even pace, and still the pilot Amherst Hill by 4 metres to Andy Brighton. 2 metres to the inside as Countess Ida, pulling just a shade, followed by Clayton Run fourth on every chance. In behind them, Belholm and Court, followed by Leach's Creek, and 25 metres away, Deluxe Lad. On the turn for the bell, at the 1150, Amherst Hill is held together. He's had a pretty good run by 1.5 metres to Andy Brighton, moving up a shade closer on the outside. In behind them came Clayton Run, followed by Countess Ida on the fence. A break of 5 metres to Leach's Creek, followed by Belholm and Court, and 15 metres away, Deluxe Lad. They're racing in pairs, bar for Deluxe Lad, who's some 50 metres off the leader, Amherst Hill, as they leave the straight the final time. At the 850, Amherst Hill by 2 metres to in second placing Andy Brighton. He's worked pretty hard, followed by Countess Ida third. Clayton Run fourth on the outside and every chance, followed by Leach's Creek and Belholm and Court, and 10 metres away, Deluxe Lad. Along the back straight the final time, it's still Amherst Hill on top, and no change in the order by 2 metres to Andy Brighton, who's under pressure the outside. Away, Clayton Run about to be called upon. He gets to a clear third. Countess Ida back on the fence, being driven along, followed by Leach's Creek and Belholm and Court and Deluxe Lad. 400 metres out. Clayton Run from the one out sit now hooks to the outside, 3 wide. He appears to have Andy Brighton beaten. It's still Amherst Hill, though. On the turn by 2 metres, Clayton Run on the outside works out to be second. Andy Brighton is boxing on, followed by Countess Ida, Belholm and Court. Leach's Creek is scrambling. Deluxe Lad is second last. They straighten up. Amherst Hill 2 metres in front. Clayton Run on the outside, now given full ball, quickly moved up on the outside and drew to the lead with 100 metres to go from Andy Brighton. Amherst Hill gallops near the line. Clayton Run takes over near the line, and Clayton Run draws away, scores by 2.5 metres to Amherst Hill, who galloped over the final 40 metres. A neck away third was Andy Brighton. We may hear more. Close up was Countess Ida, followed by Deluxe Lad and Belholm and Court, and tailed off was Leach's Creek.
His protests third and fourth against second there for excessive galloping were upheld, so Amherst Hill was relegated, and the winner, Clayton Run, 9-4 in favourite. Andy Brighton 9-2, Countess Ida at 13-2. First leg of the quadrella, race 4, and the equal favourites here were Bundabat and Just a King, who was sensationally backed at 2-1.
Very good line there set, and they're racing. Wide out Bolster began quickly with Napoleon Boy. Bundabat at the moment holding them all out. Rokem eases to fifth, followed by Bullman working up on the inside as Bolster now takes on Bundabat, turning out of the straight. They're going very hard. Rokem works up on the outside to be fifth, and behind them the Dark Ones, followed by Tudor over Chapel Mac, and 6 metres away Just a King. Out of the straight the first time, at the 1600, and Bundabat retained the lead by 5 metres to Bolster, the outside of Bullman, working up to be a very handy second in the back straight the first time. Then Napoleon Boy. From the tail now, the Dark Ones going forward 3 wide. In behind them, Tudor over, followed by Rokem, Chapel Mac, and 6 metres away, Just a King. Off the back straight the first time, Bundabat given a breather. He's 4 metres in front. Make it 5 now. 2 to Dark Ones on the outside, a neck away on the inside as Bullman. In behind them, Bolster now fourth in the one out set, followed by Tudor over, who's 3 back on the fence, working up as Napoleon Boy. In behind them, Chapel Mac track, followed by Rokem, and 5 metres away last is Just a King, some 30 metres off the leader, which is Bundabat with the circuit of travel. Bundabat, he was taken on early. He's now given a breather by 5 metres to the Dark Ones. Bullman on the leader's back is travelling well, followed by Bolster to the outside. From last now, Just a King going forward 3 wide. Tudor over 3 back on the fence, followed by Napoleon Boy. Chapel Mac is second last and 4 metres away. Rokem out of the straight at the 750. It's Bundabat 4 metres in front of the Dark Ones, working up within a metre of the leader. And Just a King has gone up very quickly out 3 wide. Bullman in behind them, fourth and about to get clear. He'll have to hook to the outside though, followed by Napoleon Boy, Bolster, Tudor over, Rokem and Chapel Mac at the 500 though. And the well-supported Just a King on the outside drew 2 metres, now 3 metres to Bundabat. Then the Dark Ones, followed by Bullman. He now hooks to the outside. He's out 3 wide if good enough, followed by Napoleon Boy. Tudor over, making ground the fence, followed by Bolster, Chapel Mac and Rokem. Around the turn of the 250, Just a King 2 metres in front of Bundabat, kicking on, followed by the Dark Ones and Bullman wide right under pressure. In the straight though, and Just a King got away 2 metres in front of Bundabat, who's kicking on, followed by the Dark Ones. Just a King a neck in front. Bundabat is coming again on the inside. Just a King just in front. Bundabat kicking on the inside. Just a King, I reckon, has wanted a nose to Bundabat. 4 metres away third, maybe Bullman just in front of Tudor over. The Dark Ones closer up, followed by Chapel Mac and Rokem, Napoleon Boy, and last was Bolster.
Well, the driver might have been cool on Just a King, but anyone who supported it from 4s into 2 to 1 must have been having heart failure in the last bit, but it got there. 2's equal, Just a King. 2 to 1 equal, Bundabat, and Bullman third at 12 to 1. That was the first half of the Valley program. Back with the last 4 races after this break. From Moonee Valley last night, the free-for-all, and having only his second run since the Inter-Dominion final, the Bob Knight trained Panion was the favourite here at 7 to 4 on.
Racing. Select Brett came away quickly. He's looking for the lead, and so too going forward Crystal Glenmar on the outside and marching order. Working up to be 5th early is Parading. Keystone Fellow back on the fence as Select Brett takes over early. Then Panion working up on the outside of Garnet Bay. Second last in the race is Tommy Tolliver, and 4 metres away Gallan Thor. Select Brett in front around the turn the first time by 4 metres. Working up on the inside Keystone Fellow. Marching order 1 off the fence, and Crystal Glenmar going forward off the track, followed by Garnet Bay on the rail. On its outside is Parading, followed by Gallan Thor. In behind them Panion second last, and 4 metres away Tommy Tolliver. At the winning post, 2 circuits to go, and Select Brett in front by 4 metres to Crystal Glenmar, who works up on the outside to be second. On its inside is Keystone Feller, and from second last now Panion going forward 3 wide. Marching order 1 out with the sit for a stride or 2. Garnet Bay is back on the fence, 3 pairs back. On its back in turn Gallan Thor. Second last Parading, and 4 metres away Tommy Tolliver. Out of the straight at the 1600. In front Select Brett by 4 metres. Panion now works up on the outside to be second. He grabs hold. A neck on the inside is Keystone Fella. Crystal Glenmar now 4th on the outside of Garnet Bay the fence. In behind them marching order, followed by Gallan Thor. Parading patiently driven second last, and 4 metres away Tommy Tolliver. A lap and a quarter out. It's still Select Brett on top. He's been left alone. He's going quickly by 4 metres to Panion, sitting up outside Keystone Fella. Then Garnet Bay, 3 back on the fence. On its outside in turn Crystal Glenmar. In behind them marching order, followed by Gallan Thor. Parading second last, and 4 metres away Tommy Tolliver. In the straightest circuit to go, and it's still Select Brett in control. He's been left alone by 4 metres to Panion, the outside of Keystone Fella. Then Garnet Bay, she's 3 back on the fence and can't get a run for the moment, followed by Crystal Glenmar on her outside. Then marching order on the back of Crystal Glenmar, followed by Gallan Thor. Parading second last. He's getting itchy fingers, about to hook out, and 4 metres away Tommy Tolliver. Inside the 800, still in front Select Brett by 4 metres to Panion the outside. First mile in 2-4. On the leader's back is Keystone Fellow. 4th on the outside, Crystal Glenmar. Garnet Bay can't get a crack at them. Still no moves, followed by marching order. Parading from second last going forward from Gallan Thor, and 5 metres away Tommy Tolliver. At the 500, despite working, Panion works up within a metre of Select Brett and about to join him. In behind them, Crystal Glenmar parading 3 wide, making ground. Keystone Fellow held up. Garnet Bay can't get a run. Tommy Tolliver going forward. Then marching order, followed by Gallanthor. They're packing up on the turn, though, 250 metres out. Panion on the outside drew 2 metres to Select Bread. Parading running home fairly well. Garnet Bay, second last, can't get a run, followed by Crystal Glenmar. But Panion raced away with 120 metres to go. He's careering away from Parading. Marching order down the outside with Gallanthor. But Panion strides away and bolts in. It's Panion by 8 metres. Nearly a dead heat for the miners between Marching Order and Parading. Maybe Marching Order a nose to Parading. In behind them, Gallanthor, Garnet Bay, Crystal Glenmar, Keystone Fella, Select Bread, and last was Tommy Tolliver.
Very impressive win by Panion at 7 to 4 on, from Marching Order 20 to 1 and Parading at 3 to 1. In race 6 on the card, Cadillac Ranch the favourite at 10 to 9 on.
The second row now, Villaroyale has broken up. Villaroyale's missed it by 20 metres. They're racing, and Moscow Tiger came out hard and fast and leads at the winning post the first time. From Galaxy Blue, working up on the outside. Admiral Steve is third. Then Cadillac Ranch, who's pacing a little bit roughly for a stride or two, turning out of the straight. Moscow Tiger shifted out badly, turning out of the straight. He contacted Galaxy Blue, gave him a nice whack. Admiral Steve works up on the fence to be second. Then Cadillac Ranch, who's fifth on the outside of Ashtrix. In behind them, Bobby's Pet. As Cadillac Ranch now takes off 3 wide. In behind them is Al Pepino. And 6 metres away, Villaroyale. Halfway down the back straight the first time, Cadillac Ranch is declaring war on Moscow Tiger. And shortly afterwards, Cadillac Ranch now draws 4 metres in front. Make it 5 now and crosses Moscow Tiger. Galaxy Blue third without cover. Admiral Steve tried to come one off the fence there. He was tightened up. Galaxy Blue broke up. The driver of Al Pepino's been tipped out of the cart. Bobby's Pet severely checked. Al Pepino's okay, so's the driver. The driver of Galaxy Blue's been tipped out of the cart in a roughhouse affair, and quite a few of these severely checked. Villaroyale also severely checked with Admiral Steve and Ashtrix and Bobby's Pet, and the clerk of the course has caught the driverless Galaxy Blue. At the winning post, a circuit to go. It's Cadillac Ranch 4 metres in front of Moscow Tiger. Villaroyale now works up on the outside. He's out of his gear though, Villaroyale. Ashtrix now works up on the fence to be third. Admiral Steve now comes off the fence to be third and one off the rail. Then Bobby's Pet, followed by Villaroyale. The driver of Al Pepino's quite okay. Ambulance attendants with the driver of Galaxy Blue, and the horses are quite okay. Plenty of action down the back of the 650. It's Cadillac Ranch 4 metres in front. Working up on the outside is Admiral Steve, but he's under pressure. Moscow Tiger badly held up on the leader's back, followed by Bobby's Pet. In behind the Ashtrix and 6 metres away, Villaroyale. At the 450, it's still Cadillac Ranch held together 3 metres to Admiral Steve, who's flat as a strap. Third placing, Moscow Tiger can't get a run, followed by Bobby's Pet. In behind them is Ashtrix, followed by Villaroyale. On the turn, though, 300 metres out. Cadillac Ranch 2 or 3 metres in front. Moscow Tiger about to get clear of good enough, and wide about Bobby's Pet making ground. In the straight, Cadillac Ranch just in front. Getting a split now, Moscow Tiger and Bobby's Pet coming quickly down the outside. Moscow Tiger grabbed 2 metres on Bobby's Pet. Cadillac Ranch can't go on, and Moscow Tiger gets the money. 3 metres to Bobby's Pet. 1.5 metres away, third was Cadillac Ranch. Then Admiral Steve, followed by Ashtrix. Last time was Villaroyale. He broke out once again. And Al Pepino lost the driver off the back straight the first time. Dan Mullen quite okay. And the driver of Galaxy Blue, Rosie Mifsud, has been placed in the ambulance.
Yes, Moscow Tiger at 7 to 4, taking out race 6 on the card, from Bobby's Pet at 7 to 1 and Cadillac Ranch third at 10 to 9 on. In race 7 on the card, the second division of the qualifying stakes, the favourite here, Eden Vance at 11 to 4.
Set their racing. Ataviros being hard driven early, looks like leading from Halmoon down the straight the first time. He cuts across now on Ataviros. Raining Dollar drops out the last. Crafty Lee working up on the fence. Bindi Black has caught 3 wide out of the straight, so too is Ublis, and working up on the outside is now Scarlet Bell. Back in behind them, Baruna Bay, Standover Man and Raining Dollar. Out of the straight the first time. Ataviros in front by 2 metres to Bindi Black, who's going forward. Halmoon is third. Eden Vance now works up on the outside to the one outset. On its back in turn, Scarlet Bell. Then Crafty Lee, 3 back on the fence, working up as Ublis, followed by Baruna Bay. In behind them, Standover Man as they drop anchor, and 4 metres away, Raining Dollar. From last now, Standover Man caught 3 wide. He's about to go forward at the 1250. Ataviros steadied by 4 metres to Bindi Black on the outside of Halmoon. From the tail now, Standover Man going forward off the track. Eden Vance having a nice sit. Back on the rail is Crafty Lee. 4 back on the outside now is Scarlet Bell, followed by Raining Dollar Ublis, and 4 metres away Baruna Bay last. Down the straight, Ataviros just in front, being taken on by Standover Man on the outside, and they're matching strides with Ataviros a neck in front. 4 metres away, Bindi Black. She's worked pretty hard. Halmoon fourth having a nice sit. So too is Eden Vance on the outside. Then Crafty Lee, 3 back on the fence, followed by Scarlet Bell. Raining Dollar back on the rail, followed by Ublis, and 2 metres away, Baruna Bay last and back on the fence. Along the back of the 650, Ataviros held together. It's narrowly in front by a neck to Standover Man. In behind them, Bindi Black, followed by Halmoon. From the tail now, Ublis is going forward. Eden Vance saw him coming. He now hooks to the outside. Crafty Lee back on the rail, followed by Scarlet Bell. In behind them, Raining Dollar, followed by Baruna Bay. At the 400, though, it's still Ataviros held together a metre in front of Standover Man. Eden Vance out 3 wide, making ground, followed by Halmoon, who's held up. In behind them, Bindi Black from Crafty Lee, Scarlet Bell, Baruna Bay, Ublis, and Raining Dollar. On the turn, though, at the 250, Ataviros a metre in front of Standover Man. Eden Vance wider out, still running home, followed by Bindi Black and Halmoon. In the straight, Ataviros 2 metres in front. Eden Vance under pressure, followed by Bindi Black coming quickly down the outside. Kylie Harrison waving the whip at Bindi Black. It grabbed the lead near the line. Crafty Lee flashing home to second, but Bindi Black gets home. 2 metres to Crafty Lee. 4 metres away, third was Ataviros. In behind them, Eden Vance, followed by Halmoon. Then Ublis from Standover Man, Baruna Bay, Scarlet Bell, and last was Raining Dollar.
Bindi Black at 8-1, taking out the last leg of the quadrella from Crafty Lee at 25s, Ataviros 11-2, and Eden Vance the favourite at 11-4. In the final event on the card, equal favourites here at 3-1 were Gavel Express and Black Moments.
Express coming 1 off the fence. Adios Dirty wide around. And here's Amazing Satay looking a chance out. 4 wide, he's making ground. But Little Do Good at the 250, 4 metres in front. Gavel Express now gets to second with Amazing Satay. Black Moments third last in the straight. Little Do Too Good, 2 metres in front. Amazing Satay on the outside is wearing it down. It's going the better. And down the outside is Sid Vicious, late starting the fly. Amazing Satay grabbed the lead near the line from Little Do Good and Sid Vicious. And Amazing Satay has got home a metre. Maybe Sid Vicious second, just in front of Little Do Good.
Amazing Satay at 20, Sid Vicious 6s, Little Do Good 9-2, equal favourites Gavel Express, Black Moments unplaced at 3s. The doubles from Moonee Valley last night, daily double 9 and 5, 620, extra double 11 and 8, 47.50, and the quadrella 8, 9, 7 and 5, $119.80. And it was harness racing last night at Moonee Valley. A big day of sport coming up here on Channel 7. We have the World of Sport program coming up at 11 o'clock with Sandy Roberts, and of course at 2:05 up to Sydney for the big match at the SCG between the Sydney Swans and Melbourne, live and exclusively here on 7 Sport. Thanks for joining us this morning. All my gear from Maple Southland. We'll look forward to seeing you next Sunday on World of Sport Replay.
World of Sport Replay was another 7 Sport presentation. Exploding with action and burning with international intrigue. What is the secret that's worth killing for, worth defecting for, and worth dying for? 8:30 Tuesday, the premiere of The Secret Servant on 7.